This is the trail that I built. I'm not gonna walk the whole thing. I don't really want to spend the time doing that. It's not the easiest walk in the world, especially since it hasn't been cleared. This park is kind of notorious for not caring about walking trails very much. I was looking over here to see if I could see the rocks that we deposit here to help reinforce this bank line here, and I think they're working because I don't see any washout. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Yeah, it was a lot more open the last time I was here, but that was like a year ago or something. And a lot can change, especially on a fall line trail in a year. Happy to see nature's recovered really well. Almost too well. It's kind of getting a little hidden. But I did a lot of this. It's all reinforced with heavy rock and a clay sand mix. It's holding up pretty well. This looks like it's got water running through it. That's someone that decided to bike on it, even though this is a trail that's prohibited bikes. Whatever. Come this way, and you can see every part we reinforced really well. And there's not actually as much growth on the trail itself as I had feared, so that's cool. There's parts down further on the trail that I didn't work on that are super bad. And it's further out of the way, so people walk on it less. I spent hours, and I mean hours, reinforcing this because I could see the water's going to come down this hill and flow into this lovely little tree crater here. So this is all reinforced with rock, and this volunteer cedar here, and it looks like it's doing pretty damn well. So the soil's washing up, hitting the cedar and not going anywhere, so it means it's displacing less and slowing the water as it comes down. Later on, if they wanted to, they could actually put more rock up here and reinforce it more, but I think it's doing pretty damn well. Lots of heavy rock over here, reinforcing this, because originally the trail was just this little narrow section here next to this holly tree and then straight drop off, and I basically built up all of that, wheelbarrows and shovels, and hand-by-hand rocks. Originally my coworker wanted to, here it is, wanted to line the trail with rocks, which isn't a bad erosion idea, but the problem with that is when leaves come up, you can't see the rocks and then you trip on them, which sucks. Wish we had done our, good God, I can't think of the name, banking a little better. We recently had a torrential amount of rain, so that's what all this is. But the trail itself seems to be holding up relatively well. It was our first trail that we were like actually building. I was putting my training to use and had a great deal of other things going on at the time. Some of you know about it. Some of you know a lot about it, probably more than you want to. Oh, the van, look how much the beaver's been chewing. Yeah, people are still social trailing down here, which is not surprising. If that was just water, it'd be somewhat bare, but it would do like it did down there. It'd build the leaves up in like little hills. Yeah, look how much the beaver's been chewing. That one's been like that for a long time. That's new. And this is new. Hey, if they take those trees down, it'll improve this vista a bit. I will say, like, despite all the stress I was enduring, this was a beautiful, beautiful job site, and I was deeply privileged to be able to do what I did on it. Yes, back there I had a volunteer group of early 20s, late teens work on that. I mean, all of it was cleared by us, and then we had those volunteers reinforce it. Well, that's spongy. That's spongy. We had knocked our duft off and then kind of buried it. That's not really the ideal way to do it. That's why. It's a very fragile part of what is now trail. Felt cool to walk on though. And our friend here, the beech tree, making everything terribly freaking rooty for us. I'm really not going to walk very far on this. I am curious, there's a bench further down here. I'm curious if they ever cleared the tree off of that, but I think they told me that they were planning on replacing that bench at some point. I am really curious if they did that. It's one of our cuttings. We did that. Yeah, those all beech roots that we cut up. Yeah, Rocky and Rudy. Parts of the trail suck to walk on. People like to fly really low here to get a good look at the lake. I don't blame them. It is kind of annoying though. That's a drain we dug out. Try to make it as subtle as possible. Looks okay. Looks like it's doing okay. Foot hurts a little bit. I've been digging a good portion of this week and stomping the shovels. Made my plantar fascia very sore. Initially, Ed tried to cut this out for us with the skid steer, and skid steer did not like all those rocks. We lost a truck twice, and then he just gave up, and the rest was done by hand. But this was skid steer cutting. Looks like water routing. Wonder how that's going to keep eroding. Probably not well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we dug a drain there or not. I don't think we did. Can't tell. I don't think we did. This, we did dig a small drain, very small one. I'm not sure how the park will feel about me walking all the way back here and reminiscing like this, and then posting this shit to YouTube. But I don't know, man. Can't remember if I bled on this project, but I probably did. I definitely put a lot of sweat into it. I definitely put tears into it. So here's where I had my army volunteers move these giant stones with me to reinforce what was actually original trail. I just kind of cleaned up the, oh my god, bench cut. That's what it's called. My benching on that. It was original trail. I didn't really need to do a lot of work there, but it did need reinforcement. I was happy to have those big, strong men and women move those heavy-ass stones for me. I kind of figured this would indeed erode a little bit. But it seems to be holding up really well. So I'm glad that I trusted mostly nature to do that. I had instructed our folks not to dig up more roots than necessary to do that. In part because it kind of, especially roots like this, that kind of go squiggly, help a little bit. And then also, the more uphill roots of a tree you cut, the more likely it is to fall downhill. You can cut more downhill roots safely than uphill roots. Oh, you got a little tree guy, probably a little beech, trying to grow on the trail. I don't know, I might like the whole damn thing. Yeah, I tried to tell them, like, bench and flatten, you want a slight grade, but not a bad one. So what's happening is, because this is sloped so much and so close to the edge, I'm kind of instinctively doing what I told them people would do. I am walking on the remnants of the duft we scraped away, which is not the trail. The trail's up here. Oh, well. Cool little rock mound from the original mountain biking trail we somewhat followed. I'm gonna pop out back there pretty quickly. They did clear the tree. Okay. Good job, folks. They had moved a huge amount of these logs because the cabins are up there, which I'm not going to show you because they're occupied. That's rude. We had moved those to discourage people from just walking onto the trail down here. And this, like I suspected, is very, very clear. And part of that's water running down it. But a lot more of that is people's feet, which is great. Well, that was a big boy that fell. Did that fall while I was here? Can't remember. A lizard and a squirrel. That was a drain I dug. I think we did cut that. And this, I reinforced with a ton of rock and then buried it. It was originally like a natural ditch that went down the hillside. The water's still running down it, which it would, but it is holding up really, really well. Cool. I'm not gonna walk the rest of the way because the rest of the way is kind of freaking boring. I'll give you a shot of the lake and the sun shooting off of it because it's kind of pretty. I mean, I am curious on, because I suspected that that area would get really boggy. I'm curious on how boggy that's ended up gotten. Because my recommendation was to reinforce it with rock. They didn't want to. Whatever. Just generally whatever. I am curious if it's gotten as boggy as I suspect it has. But also, it's boring and I don't give a shit. I'm hungry. Perpetually hungry. Perpetually need to pee. Who will? Yeah, one of the cool things about this lake is how many lily pads grow in it. Millions of lilies. Lots of frogs. Big old snappers. Lots of turtles in general. That was an interesting snap that tree did. Snapped in two places. Yeah, I do remember us cutting this. Because it was a bitch. So when they fall like that, when it falls across the trail and one end is significantly lower, but then also you have this little raised area from the trail where the trail got cut, it fucks with the center of gravity. And that can cause it to shift in weird ways, and it encourages pinching. I've seen them sometimes where like the tree's so big and it's so sketch to move that they just kind of cut a chunk out of the top to flatten it so people can walk over it. Because it gets too dangerous to cut otherwise. Yeah, slopes kind of... In trail building, you want a slight slope, but never a steep slope. It's always shitty to build on a steep slope. I'm gonna walk up here, give you one more shot of the lake, and stop recording because my phone always complains about space when I make long videos. Which this one ain't too long. I spent 15 minutes up. There's one of flags. That's originally when I flagged out the trail. Guess we missed one. I'm gonna put it at the entrance of the trail, which interestingly, I told them that was bad entrance. I don't know if I said that at the beginning of the video. I told them it was a bad one. Because it's falling trail. You're going directly down the hill. And it makes erosion almost impossible to deal with unless you put steps in. And even then, it's going to wash out around the steps. But other people got their way on it, which was typical. It's very quickly made apparent to me I could not challenge certain people on anything, no matter how stupid their ideas were. So, trail entrance got there. But, again, interestingly, I have realized that they built another entrance to the trail that seems to be getting more traffic than the one we built. So I'm glad that I spent all those hours of my own labor and arguments and time and hours of volunteer labor on it just for them to decide to move it anyway. And I'm worried. I'm not worried at all. I hope that's what they did. I'm wondering if they made that the official trail. And that's become a side entrance for the people that know the secrets. It's cool how many little signs of us cutting is left. Interesting. Interesting little bush cabin you got there, buddy. It's definitely child size, dog size, but still interesting. It's also illegal. You're not supposed to do that. But they don't enforce that too hard. Just like, be respectful. Don't cut down trees to do that shit, and you're usually fine. Yep, I gotta hurry back. I'm an evening person for multiple reasons. Big one in summer is just that it's cooler. Although it was generally pretty cool today, I'm still sweaty. Been running hot lately. Oh, where's that? Is that it? I guess that's it. It's a huge ass tree my very brief supervisor had cut down with us. That was cool. And then my very green coworker tried to roll it off the hill, and as the green young man he was, he stood behind it and stood downhill from it. And if he hadn't had the sense to leap over it as it started going, he would not have been okay. It was like 2,000 pounds of tree. Worst case scenario is it would have taken him down the hill with him, and he would have ended up in the lake. And then I'd have to do a water rescue and probably CPR. And that would have been a very bad day for everyone. Thankfully, that's how a lot of accidents tend to be avoided, just fucking split-second decisions and dumb luck. And I personally don't like that. That never sits right with me. The only way you can get to this, by the way, if you're not renting a cabin, is to walk. It's about 2 miles. Most people aren't willing to do that, so this isn't getting a whole lot of foot traffic. I'm not surprised almost no one is following the trail down here, which, honestly, shame on them, because it's cool as fuck up here. At least part of it is. And that then kind of just like goes up into just woods. And the ultimate plan, maybe, is to extend it further down, because there's all kinds of good land up here. I'm going to plant this flag right here, because that's where the split starts. And you can either go down to the lake, or you can go up into the woods. There's the entrance I was talking about. Hard to see, but maybe that flag will help people out a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to come up to the second entrance, and then I'm going to stop. Phone says I can do 10 more minutes of recording, so hopefully I don't do that much more. This area I wanted armor. I got yelled at for it, trying to do that, because I didn't really know entirely what I was doing. I spent too much time doing it, etc., etc. Long story short, instead of armoring the trail here, putting rocks here to reinforce this soil, we put rocks up there, and it's kind of just becoming a fucking dam, and it's pushing water down here and washing out the soil that I said was going to wash out. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm really hungry. I don't know what I'm going to eat when I get home. I was originally planning on grilling some tilapia, but I got ravioli cooked. Sweet. Make some ravioli and some garlic bread. I guess I'll do my tilapia tomorrow. Where's that entrance I saw? It's getting a little dark. It's getting dark, darling, too dark to see. I probably got ticks all the fuck over me because this trail has not been cleared. I was gonna bushwhack my way here, and then I was like, I don't have tick spray, so it's like, nah, not gonna do it. And I get to the trail, I'm like, fuck. Well, I'm already here. I already did the 2 miles to get here. And then I've probably done about another mile on the trail, and I got 2 miles back, so what's that, like 4 and 1, yeah, sure, we'll say 5. I think we cut that. Can't remember. We did cut one up here. It was a tricky cut. Had to call one of my supervisors to show us how to do it, because I don't fucking play with shit. Don't take chances, especially when someone more experienced is available. Show you how to not fuck yourself up. Alright, let's pop up here and see. So I'm curious on what this flag is for. I don't remember if I was there the last time I was here. I think maybe it was. But it's just sitting there from the time they constructed that part. Because I didn't work on that part very much. I don't know. But it seems to me, based on how flattened and degraded these leaves are, that people are using this entrance more. Ah, shit. I don't want to go uphill. Alright, well, that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to post this later, maybe, probably,